Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes, to renting versus selling, and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi everyone, welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Every week we talk about something that will help you make a little money, save a little money, or maybe just help you navigate this crazy world that we live in. And boy, I say it every week, we do live in a crazy world. Crazy things happen every day. This job is definitely one for the birds sometimes, but in the end, it provides a great life. I love real estate, and I'm going to have lots of stories to tell. Well, I already have grandchildren, so I've got lots of stories to tell. Anyway, today with me is Priority One Credit Union. They are a nonprofit organization. Did I get this wrong?
Not for profit.
Not for profit. See, I get this wrong every time. I have Ralph with me and Diana, and they are part of the dream team over there.
Thank you.
We can never get the top of the dream team, and that's okay. We've got you two. And
You'll settle.
I am not settling at all.
I agree with Laura, no settling.
We are not settling. We love you guys. However, what we're going to talk about today is what does a nonprofit organization that provides lending, it's still a lending institution.
Right.
What do you provide? And I know that I could tell you firsthand that I am your biggest cheerleader when it comes to recommending you guys. Number one, I love the fact that you guys are in-house for approving all of your equity lines. I have clients that have gone to, we can't say the words to these places, but have gone to other institutions, and boy, are they institutions, have gone to other institutions to get an equity line, and you guys have been able to close the deal in less than a week.
Yes.
As long as provided all the information needed. So I know that you have some really great things going on right now, so tell us what the listeners can expect if they came to open an account with you today.
I would like to piggyback on the home equity line and just say, because of course we get decisions quickly, and that's because we're local.
Right.
We do common sense underwriting.
Yes, you do.
And our underwriter looks at things, which is why it's common sense, but he looks at why he should do this loan versus what are the risks? Why is it, why, basically, how I should do this loan. So that's a big difference.
It's beyond the credit
us.
score. So you look at all the factors. You look at employment stability. It's just not a number, because you could have some issues with your credit, and you still are a good candidate. You just have to look at all the details.
I think you need to say that louder
Yes.
and prouder.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is because many, many, many times when talking to somebody, they say, oh, my credit's not good. And the question is number one is what their idea of not good and what your idea of not good.
That's correct.
Let's say.
Exactly.
Let's give an example. Let's say you own a home that was your home for the last 20 years, and it's now worth $500,000 and you only owe $100,000. And they're paying everything else, but their credit's not good because maybe they got sick and now they need the money. I've seen people need these equity lines for medication.
Right.
And they're willing, listen, when it comes down to family, people are willing to sacrifice other things, like maybe losing your house to provide care. And if you said, well, look, they have lots of medical bills and now their credit score is a 580,
Right.
you might say, well, you don't have they would have a mortgage of $100,000. You might say, well,
it's called
we'll
loan
put
to
this
value.
into or you might say, we'll put this into a first mortgage. We'll pay off your second, bring it into a first, maybe.
Or there's a lot of equity. You can still do a line of credit. Life happens.
Right.
Sometimes you have late payments. Sometimes you're over the limit on your credit card. Sometimes you have a few too many credit cards. That's going to drop your score. But especially on loans that have a collateral, such as a car loan or a home equity line of credit, in this case that we're talking about, there's a collateral. So if you have a lot of equity in the property, and you have your credit's a little colorful, as we like to call it.
There's some hiccups.
But
But
what
there's
are the
still-
hiccups? Give me an idea of something. Tell us the worst credit score you've actually ever done for.
Oh, done for. We've done in the 500s all the time.
and low 500s
Yeah,
too.
because there's
Yes.
sometimes there's medical collections, there's
Right.
student loans that are past due. There's even other types of derogatory credit. But again, if you have a history with us,
Right.
if you have a steady employment, if you have equity in your property, or you have a large down payment on your car, those are all great compensating factors for you to be approved at our institution, at the credit union.
And I think that that's what's unique.
Yes.
And I don't know that every
No.
credit union thinks the same way you guys do. I don't think it's as personable as you guys are.
I would venture to say no. We are unique.
Yeah, every credit union has its own style, and I can't really speak on them, what their
Right.
policies are. We just take pride with our underwriters having that common sense to look at other
Right.
things, and our policy allows us to do that. The bigger that you get as an institution, like there's a lot of very large credit unions now that are more similar to banks. There's a lot more bureaucracy, but with us, we're nimble enough that we can still make those decisions and make them fairly quickly. As you mentioned, getting the HELOC
Exactly.
approved and closed
Yeah. And
rather
what I
quickly.
typically tell people when they're looking to do this, what I tell them to do is to go ahead, go online, go to prioritycreditunion.org, right?
Priority one, FL.org.
FL.org. I tell them
Yes.
to go there first. I have to always look and make sure because I can make that mistake. Go online, go to fill out whatever it is. If they're looking for a car loan or if they're looking for an equity loan, go and click on that
Yes.
and start to fill out the paperwork. Once you finish the paperwork, I tell them to let me know.
Good.
And then I usually will text Dina and say, hey, so-and-so just filled out a loan if I know that they did it. Or I tell them when you get done, I give them her office number and say, give her a call, let her know that I told you that you'd already filled it out and to give you a call. And usually she'll send it over to the other person in your facility that takes care of it from there.
And it's a prime example of the personal red carpet treatment.
Yeah.
Because how many people out there can say, okay, I want a loan, and then they can go to their realtor, their consultant, who knows somebody at the credit union, straight direct line,
Right.
to say, hey, I'm sending this over. And not just because you know someone there. We do that for just about everyone
Everybody.
that
Yes.
walks in. Whether it's a 500 credit score,
Yes.
whether it's, what's the highest, 850?
850.
850. We try to do that for everyone.
Yes. And what's helpful with that is the fact that they're referred by somebody that we know, so that bypasses that first step of determining.
Can't always say I'm good. I
this-
can't always vouch for them. I don't know.
No, but you're referring a live person that's
Yeah.
not like a
Right.
fraud robot that's trying to do
And we're getting
That's
a
a
lot
new
of
thing,
those.
by the way.
Yes.
So recently, I was trying to understand. So somebody said to me the other day that there was a whole transaction that had happened where somebody got back $100,000 at closing. And I was like, well, how did that happen? They said, but there was no money that was transferred. And
Oh.
it's weird. So recently, I had gotten an offer from another agent, and she called after we signed the offer, and I said to my seller, "This offer is way too good. Something's not right." I have intuition that's weird, and I said, "Something's not right." And he's like, "What do you mean something's not? I'm telling you, something's not right." 2 days later, the agent says, "I need to retract that offer. The buyer is not real."
Oh my goodness.
So I'm hearing a lot of weird things
Yes.
are going on,
Yes.
and offers are coming out, and they're not real.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out what's the whole thing behind it.
Scams. People are out there trying to scam for money.
And
it's-
they're using all the techniques possible. With us, we have a fraud department.
That's very
and
busy.
Very, very busy. And we've gotten several loans that are fraudulent. And
several dozens throughout the years.
yes,
there's been
quite a bit.
quite a bit
So we're
increasingly.
trained to look for red flags.
Right.
There are different things, and we won't say what the red flags are because, you never know who's listening to this radio show.
Right.
Because they're usually one step ahead, or they
Right.
try to be, right?
Yes.
Well, one of the things as agents that we're asked when we present an offer to the title companies is, have you ever met the buyer in person?
Right.
Have you ever met the seller in person? Because if you say, yes, I've met the seller or they're personally known to me, or if you say no, it's going to put them one step up on the radar to
Absolutely.
say, well,
Yes.
why have you not
Right.
ever met them?
Right.
Right.
You know?
It throws up a red flag, obviously.
It does.
Yeah, there's a lot of people buying out of China.
And what you call
Mm-hmm.
intuition, I call also experience.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
seasoned.
You're seasoned. You've seen a lot in the time that you've done
So,
real estate.
2005, big time.
Uh-huh.
A lot of there was a woman that I know specifically was used as a straw buyer. I found this out later on. They ended up arresting these people. People in the neighborhood that I lived in, same thing. Mortgage broker doing
Really?
fraud. This is 2005. It was huge. It was a big thing right then and there. They were asking for $100,000 back at closing. Hey, if the property appraises, because remember our values went to 50%.
They
Right.
did.
So, you know, sometimes it's not about what it's worth. Sometimes it's about what somebody's willing to pay. So when the market
right.
was tanking so fast, it wasn't about the worth not being there. It was about the masses were running the other way. And I would do videos back then and say, when the masses run this way, you go this way.
The other way,
Right.
correct. Yes.
So if they stop buying, you start buying.
Yes.
And so that was like my biggest thing back in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2010 was the very rock bottom of the real estate market. And in 2011, we started to see it start to uptick back up.
Right.
By 2015, people were saying, we're going to have a crash again. We're going to have a crash. And I was people coming to me saying, sell our house, sell our house. And I kept saying, yeah, if you look at a mutual fund and you look at how things were over time, it did call for a crash in 15. However, 15 never crashed.
Right.
16 never crashed, 17, 18, 19, 20 comes. It goes quiet
Yes.
till about June. And all of a sudden, people are flocking to Florida.
Right. But that was a very specific reason why it happened. But
I felt like Hurricane Wilma was the one that crashed us, you know, like
in 2005, 2005,
But
6.
wouldn't you say those actions change how we look at what's going to happen next? Because
it confuses you.
Yes. So now, what you used to look at the uptick here, okay, when this gets here, this happens.
It
It's
literally
no
would do it
longer
every
like that.
15 years.
But then it's changed. So now we're all
It's very hard to foresee.
predict per se.
Very hard, yeah.
predict. Yeah. So
So we're seeing so funny. So you guys lend, I'm sure, and I'd like you to confirm without it. We've never talked about this before we started. I want you to confirm about condos.
yes,
Condos you lended on 2 years ago that were here are now here,
yes,
Yes.
and we're fearful it could be here.
yes,
Yes.
Now I think we're going to start to see it kind of level out soon because the assessments have happened.
Okay.
Listen.
Yes.
Remember when you could go and buy, what was it, the bubble gum, the little bubble gum with the joke on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Right,
I
for
love
5
those.
cents, right?
Yes.
Now, I think it's probably 50 or 75 if you would find that today for just one piece of gum.
Yes.
One piece of gum.
and it's not going to go back to 5 cents.
Right.
No.
So when you look at maintenance for a condo association at $375, which was very people always looked for in the 300s.
Right.
Now you're seeing in the 5s and the
Six.
7s. 6 and
Yeah,
7s,
sevens.
5, 6 and
And
7s.
8s.
But it's normal. Think about it. You and I want to go back to
The 300s.
The
300s.
300s, yes.
But the bottom line is my cleaning lady just raised me.
Yes.
She said, I'm sorry, but I have no choice. Your lawn guy, they've raised you for gas prices,
Yes.
you know. You still have your pool. Your pool people, now they're adding extra charges in for things that I'm like, where did this even come from?
Exactly.
So it's, people say 700 so high, but is it?
Well, it's high.
But income isn't going up.
It's all relative.
problem.
Income
yes,
isn't going
but
up.
but it's all relative because before you didn't really have to fully fund all the expenses that the condo association had, right? You could just have like a 10%.
We waived it. We waived it. We waived it. We waived
Right.
it.
So
over
now,
and over.
now for most of these condos, you have to fully fund. So it
Yeah.
takes that much to fully fund. Now, once they're fully funded, maybe there'll be a
And I think they're getting close to that because the
Yes.
government's requiring it.
right.
Come
So-
January, just so you guys know, whether or not you're familiar with this or not, but come January, we're now a lending institution, again, because you guys aren't really fixated on that first mortgage. You
Right.
do it. You have somebody in-house that does that. But typically lending institutions look for 10% in reserves in order to do something less than 20 or 25% for a primary residence.
Okay.
Come January 2027, it will be 15% needed in reserves.
So that's
So
how
that will
they-
start to affect again the sales of the resales and the buyers.
Right.
Because I talk about, whether or not we have this buyer pool or this buyer pool.
Right.
So
Yes.
So you're saying, okay, it's going up, and people are settled into what they're currently paying, so it's leveling out. But is it sustainable? A lot of people in condos, fixed income. A lot of people who have moved here, so it's going up. I mean, yes, the lawn service for homes in different places, and you have association there, but break it down to the grocery store. Your bread that you used to pay. I'm not sure. I don't go to the grocery store.
I
My
don't
husband
either.
does.
My husband does.
But mine too. But I understand that everything now has gone up. I remember there's a special meat that my husband used to buy that's seasoned, and he loved it. And he used to get it for $10. He went the
prohibitive.
other day, $34. It did actually got smaller.
yeah.
And more
The
expensive.
size, but more expensive. So is this sustainable?
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why a hamburger is now 20, 25 in certain restaurants.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So financial institutions.
So we have to pay the
adjust.
waitresses more money, everybody. So
Yeah.
we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, because you do have a lot of things we have not
Great
talked
commercials.
about.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we got to stop digressing. We'll be right back.
At JK Closing Attorneys, we do all of the same things that a title company does, but with the benefits of being a law office. We can help with residential real estate, short sales, commercial real estate, refinances, 1031 exchanges, and FRIPTA withholding.
Contact JK Closing Attorneys today at 954-332-3111. Again, that is 954-332-3111.
Priority One Credit Union of Florida is a welcoming credit union that makes your financial success our number one priority. We offer lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and common sense local loan approvals, with nationwide access through shared branching.
Hi, I'm Dina Hennessy, President and CEO at Priority One Credit Union. We are open to the community. Anyone can be a member of our credit union, and we would love to have you.
Contact us today at 954-335-5100. You can also reach us at PriorityOneFL.org. Your financial success is our priority. That's 954-335-5100.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at theloracell.com. And now back to the show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I'm Laura Sanders, your host. Today, we're here with Priority
One Credit
I
Union
can't get it
of
straight.
Florida.
Priority One Credit Union. I should know. I use them. I bank with them. They're amazing. I'm here with Ralph and Diana, and we are going to tell you about some promotions they have.
Yes, yes. Right now, Laura, we have three promotions we're featuring. One is our auto loan. So it's purchasing. So purchase your dream car, right? And guess what we'll do? We will give you up to $400 cash back. I mean, think about that. That's basically one of your car payments, right? And then here's the other big thing. 90 days, no payment. I know 400 is low for a car payment, but it's still good money, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is good money. So up to 90 days, no payment.
That's awesome.
So think about this. You're getting up to $400 in your pocket, up to 3 months, no payment.
I actually have a referral for you guys.
All right, but just so a little bit of a disclosure. So the 3 months, no payment, but you're being charged the interest. And remember, Priority One Credit Union interests are extremely competitive, so you're barely paying anything. Okay?
How are the interest rates looking right now in car loans?
Real good.
The interest rates are in the 5-6 range, 5%, 6% if you have good credit. Our rates are as low as 4.99,
Oh, wow.
and they go up depending on the term and on the person's credit.
Tell everybody what your website is, because they can go on and see all the links for all the different kinds of applications
Yes.
that they can do prior to, and then they can always reach out to whether it's you guys or to me, and I can say to you, hey, check so-and-so just filled out an application.
Yeah.
So if you go on to priority1fl.org, you will see all the featured banners running across the screen telling you everything
All
that's
the
going
promos,
on.
right?
Yes. So it will give you promos and it will tell you of other things that's happening at the credit union, because we love to keep our members and our community informed. So we talked about the purchase loan. We also have, if you have an automobile, that's your dream car, and the payment's too high, let us know. We're one of the few financial institutions that really refinance vehicles. And you know, we have some competitive offers too. So
Absolutely.
check us out on that. So that's one of our top promotion. You want to talk about the unsecured, or you
Sure,
want me? There
sure.
you
We have
go.
a great personal loan or unsecured loan promo, and that's up to from between $500 and $10,000. And if you have excellent credit, it could be as low as 7.99%, which is unheard of for a
Yes.
personal loan. It's really, really low.
Yes.
I
So-
actually used that loan for a client many, many years ago. I've been dealing with you guys for about 16 years, I think.
Nice.
And I had a client use that as their down payment to buy their house for their closing costs. It was a VA loan, and they didn't have the closing costs, but they wanted to own. And by the way, it's 16 years later, they're still in that home, so that's great for them. And so this is something that we utilized for them to actually be able to own a home.
So it works well as a gap loan. It
Yeah. It
helps.
It does.
And that brings us to the auto loans. A lot of times when your payments are really high and you're purchasing, sometimes when you come
I've
to
done that
us,
too with you guys.
yes, to say, hey,
With
the
the
payments
lenders.
are high. Can you get it down? And when we look like it's too high currently, let's do this.
Let's lower the rate. Let's
Yes.
extend the term.
And their debt to income falls right in the line.
Yeah, so realtors use this
Yes.
as I have.
Yes.
I actually brought many lenders to you guys who use this as a way to sometimes figure out maybe because I always ask the question, what's your car interest rate? And people look at me, why are
Perfect.
you asking me that question? I go, because if I can get that lower for you.
Yeah. You see, Laura, you represent a different segment of real estate consulting because you're more holistic. You're not just, I'm going to sell you a house and move on. You literally look at holistically, financially, how are
Right.
they
You
doing?
look at the
How
whole
can I
picture,
make
yes.
this better? And
Oh, I've saved sellers
Yes.
deals where I'm the
There you
listing
go.
agent and I'm like, well, they're like, oh, this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what I had the other day, real quick. Had a situation, came to me, said the payment was $1,000 too much. I said, oh, well, didn't they own? I said, what are you using for taxes on this house? Now, the people lived there for 31 years, so their taxes were low.
Yes.
So they were using what they felt were going to be the proposed taxes in the future. And I said, what are you using? They said $19,000. And I said, okay, didn't they own a home? And they said, yeah. I said, when did they sell it? They said, March. I said, okay.
Portability.
I was on the phone with the other realtor. I
Yep.
called Broward County property appraisers, got on the phone and said, hey, they lived at 123 Main Street, and now they're buying a home for $1,050,000. Can you tell me what their new taxes will be in this home? They said it's going to be $13,100.
There you
So I was
go.
able to, the realtor was like, holy cow. He goes, when I asked the lender, they said, we don't do that.
exactly.
And I'm like, you're losing a deal
Exactly.
because you don't do that.
Exactly.
And when I got on the phone with the realtor and said, now I just saved you $500 a month.
Oh my goodness. So that was portability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then primary home, you get your homestead.
Well, that already had all of it.
So
like
they
they
had
did it
all of
all,
that.
but the portability
So this is good.
and because the people's current taxes were like $8,700, right? So they figured it out based on the sales price, what it's going to be, which would be if you had never owned. That's why I talk about if they do pass this bill in November, this could be a big deal, but you have to own in 2026. Otherwise, from 2027 on, you have to wait 5
Exactly.
years. So.
That's a
And
great
you have,
point.
we're running out of time, so you have one more
One more
loan, right?
promo.
One more promo is not alone now, because Priority One Credit Union loves their members, and they what do you call it? I would say the community, because we're
Absolutely.
community based. We offer, if you're a member of our credit union and you refer someone who opens a checking and a savings account, we will give you up to $125 plus the person opening the account that you referred will get $125. And this is us celebrating America's 250th anniversary. So
wow.
together, that's $250. Now here's a key point. There's no limit on how many people you can refer at this point until we're overwhelmed, right? But so you can refer as many as possible. Extra money. Right,
Yeah, that's
Laura?
amazing. So say Laura Sanders referred you. If you're looking for a top agent, definitely give me a call. I definitely go way above and beyond. I help you stage your home. I'm a certified home stager. I make sure your home's showing the best light possible. I make sure you don't go through inspection pitfalls. So again, my name's Laura Sanders, RE/MAX Direct, directing you to the right home and directing you to the right place to get your home sold. 954-650-0827, lauracell.com, and best number for you guys.
954-335-5100, and just ask for Diana or Ralph, and we'll take care of you.
Awesome. And like always, thank you for listening and watching streaming with Making Money with Laura Sanders. Till next week, make it a great one.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. We look forward to seeing you next week.